Male Redditors, what are some hints females gave you but you did not get them until after you had your chance? I once had a cute female in my bed, said she was cold, so I gave her another blanket. Not one of my most shining moments. A girl once asked me to keep my dorm door unlocked so that she could wake me up in the morning. The next morning she crawled into bed with me, and I could not understand why she would come over if she was so tired. I stayed perfectly still so that she would be able to sleep. I was at my tutoress' house, and for some reason was in her bedroom. I lay down on the bed, feet touching floor, and she came over and straddled me. I just kind of stared up at her. She looked down at me for a few moments, then got off and said, "Okay, let us do the lesson." It was not until a couple of months later that I was like, hey. She was waiting for me to make a move. I was clueless because she was my teacher, and she talked about her boyfriend fairly frequently anyway. She ordered an ice cream cone, accidentally smeared it on her cheek, and asked me to get it off. I grabbed the last napkin and wiped it off. Persistent as ever, she accidentally smears ice cream on her other cheek and politely informs me that I can get it off with my mouth. Given our napkin deficit, I just said, "Nah, I hate strawberry," and used my dry elbows to get it off. In hindsight, I should have used my shirt. Suck on my face. Here, have my elbow instead. That is soccer for you. No one has even asked me to homecoming. Yeah, me either. So what are you going to do? Well, I guess if no one is going to ask me, I will probably just stay home. That is probably what I will end up doing too. Yeah, so, it would be really nice to go though. I agree, but oh well. Mind if I call you that night? Sure. I was coming back home and I was at the bag pickup, this really cute girl and I started talking. The conversation was about how she was just visiting Miami and really did not know where to go. After a while we realized that we were the only two people who hadn't gotten their bags cause we were at the wrong conveyor. After some joking and a trip to the baggage claim, we got our bags and stayed there talking for a bit. My mom called me telling me that she was outside. I said I had to go and I saw a small look of confusion frown on her face. I got into the car and then it hit me, she wanted me to show her around town. Duh. I just looked at my mom and said, "You have raised the biggest idiot on the planet," and she called me gay once I told her the story. Had two girls come to my hotel room on vacation and ask if they could stay in my room, because they were locked out of theirs. I proceeded to figure out how to pick the lock to their room. A true engineer. This girl and I were alone in my apartment, and we had just finished watching a movie. She had had her head resting on my lap the entire time. Afterwards we were spooning on the couch. She cuddled up against me, kissed me on the cheek, and looked up at me expectantly. I stared at her for a few moments and then said, "So, what do you want to do?" After a while I ended up taking her home. In high school, a girl asked me for a ride home from a football game one time, to which I agreed. She asked if I wanted to come in and see her room. I forget why this seemed like a normal thing, and that it would not bother her parents because they were not home. So, I went in and had a tour of her house, then left. I was pretty pissed off when I figured it out a while later. All I am imagining is you telling this story to a bunch of your friends. So this girl's like, "Come check out my room," so I did, and she started taking her clothes off, and I am like, what kind of person invites you to show you her room and then just starts getting naked? It was ducking weird, so I left. And she started taking her clothes off. I guess I passed over the worst part of the story. We both went to Catholic schools, right down the street from each other. Mine was all boys, hers all girls. Her school had the traditional Catholic school uniform, plaid skirt, knee-high socks, and white shirts. So, when we get into the house and are in her living room, and she says something along the lines of, "I think I am going to get out of this uniform," to which I replied with roughly, "Oh, okay, I will just wait here till you are finished." What the duck is wrong with you? That is like two fantasies in one. Yes, I was stupid and awkward, I admit it. I have gotten better. I swear, it only took me like a month to pick up my current girlfriend's cues. I was in a girl's bedroom when she tells me that she is now on birth control so she can have sex anytime. I said, "Oh, that's nice, facepalm." 1. I am so drunk I could have a threesome. 2. Me too. 1. Let's do it. Haha. Me laughing. You girls be safe. I will see you later. As I open my front door, oh duck, they meant with me cry. Edit format. I was at a party out of town while visiting a friend at college, and I met a stunning ginger who engaged me in conversation. We began talking and she told me that she was an art major. That is cool. What kind of art? Mostly sketches. So, would you like to come back to my apartment to see my etchings? I had never heard that phrase before, and now 20 years later I still wonder what they looked like. In college, I had a lot of crazy, curly hair. This girl in one of my classes started chatting me up and said, "You have good hair." Whenever I see guy with good hair like that, I like to imagine grabbing onto it when he is going down on me. I was all like, oh, that is interesting. Freshman year of college, a bunch of friends and I were hanging out in my room. This girl who liked me sat on my bed and kept trying to wrangle the bed sheet I was sitting on out from under me. I ended up battling her for it. My friends all got the hint and left eventually. After a lot of pulling and tugging she left. I went outside to my friend who asked me, "So how had it go?" To which I said what the hell was her problem. She kept trying to take my sheet. My friend's reaction was probably the same one you are having right now. One time, a girl kissed me on a school bus without warning and told me that I could get off at her stop and we could walk to her house because her parents were not home. I said no because I was going to miss Dragon Ball Z. Edit. Wow, I never thought my lack of social prowess would translate to massive upvotes. I almost do not regret it now. Dude, good call. If you missed that episode, you had never know what the duck was going on in subsequent episodes. Gotta have priorities. Sitting next to her at a school play. Her, my hands are cold. Me, mine too. Continue to do nothing. Laughing. On a walk with a girl. My hands are cold. My thoughts, oh, ducking sweet. I brought gloves. She will love this. Procure gloves. Girl says no thanks with a puzzled look. My thoughts, what is she crazy? These are designed to warm up hands. You know. The warmest part of your body is your dick. Offer that next time and see what she says. Walking across campus with a girl, she said, "Hey, slow down, I cannot keep up with you." I slowed down. Then she said, "But you could not keep up with me in bed." I could not think of a witty response to that. I did not hit it. There is also the reverse end. My first meeting with an actual Chinese national while in China. She kept going on about how she heard that Westerners like to have crazy sex all the time, then asking me if this is true and what do I do that normally turns me women on. So taking this to be some kind of hint, I suggested she come back to my hotel room and find out, at which point she started getting angry with me saying she had a boyfriend and I was a typical Westerner trying to have sex with Asians. I realize there is already a billion comments here, but my story is pretty great, so I thought I did share. Back in my undergraduate days, I was after a particular girl, to try and get in good with her. I was also making friends with her roommate. Little did I know that the roommate was actually trying to put the moves on me. We are sitting together in the main cafeteria, chatting about our day. She tells me that she has obnoxious homework. She is supposed to watch this French movie for her French course and do a report on it. She tells me how it is an old black and white film, supposed to be very romantic, etc. She invites me to come over and watch it with her. What she was saying, do you want to come to my room, alone, and watch a romantic movie in the dark? What I heard, do you want to do my French homework for me? My response, laughing, absolutely not. It was not until 2 months later that someone informed me she was after me, and that this really upset her. Wow, that is a big ouch for her. Freshman year of college, a girl gave me a mixtape for my birthday. Yes, I am old. The first song was Why Do Not We Do It in the Road. I did not ask her out for another 3 months, because I am stupid. She is now my wife. End of my freshman year of college, I had become friends with this girl in my German class, study buddies. Basically, I had a GF when we met. I was definitely in the friend zone. I am at her dorm room, a single, and she is telling me how much she has been working out, lifts up her shirt, asks me to feel her flat, tight abs. She is a cute blonde with a great body. Then she is asking me if I would let her take off her shirt and lie down and if I would give her a massage. I actually declined. I think I said it would be kinda weird, But wait, that is not all. She steers the conversation to sex, starts telling me about this guy that told her he wanted to go down on her and she did not know what that meant. I told her I did not know either. I had never heard that expression before. I did not realize for years what had transpired that afternoon. I was at a house party and started feeling a little sleepy, so I went for a lie down in a bedroom I was staying over, as I lived a long distance away, so they gave me a room for the night. One of my friends, who was the younger sister of the girl having the party, came and lay down next to me on the bed. I did known her since we were young kids, so it did not feel particularly awkward or suggestive. We chatted a bit and snoozed a bit, and after about an hour, she said, "You can make love to me if you want." I thought she was joking and laughed. She sent me an email a few weeks later when we were hundreds of miles apart. Turned out she was not. I do not know if this counts. It is more a story about how I am a giant pussy. I went out on a sordid date with a female friend of mine, who I was completely obsessed with. After dinner and a movie, we went to a convenience store. She told me to go inside and get anything I needed, so I come out with a bag of Sun Chips and 2 raspberry-flavored water bottles. She does a facepalm, which existed only action and not in text at the time, and tells me to grab condoms. She goes back with me. I am nervous as hell because I am a virgin. I fumble over several different types. The clerk looks like she is trying to restrain her laughter, so we leave, and this girl takes me to the place she went to elementary school. Creepy now that I think of it. We go out into the field and sit down, and she starts getting up all over me. I tell her I left the condoms in the car. I remember doing that on purpose, because I was absolutely terrified of disappointing her. I did not lose my virginity that night, and there is a monument to what a pussy I was in the parking lot of that school to this day. I was in high school, and a girl that I had a total crush on, and with whom I was in computer classes, called me up one night around 10 p.m. She said she was having computer issues, and, knowing that I was pretty savvy with such things, decided to call me for help first. I figure she got my number from the phone book, as this was 1994. I am showing my age. Anyway, I hate tech support calls, but I was totally digging on this girl, so I was willing to make an exception. Here is a paraphrased transcript. Me hello, her oh hi Mark, this is Heather, from school. Me oh hey Heather, what is up? Her well, I was having trouble with my computer, and my parents are out of town. My older sister has no clue what the problem is, so I was wondering if you could help me out. Me sure, what is the problem? She tells me the problem. I attempt to fix it over the phone. Her I just do not seem to get it. Could you come over and help me out? Me not tonight. I have a math test tomorrow. How about tomorrow? Her no, my dad will be back in town by then. But I really need to get this solved tonight. Are you sure you cannot? Me yeah, sorry, I wish I could. Her okay, fine, maybe some other time. It was about 8 years later, as I was home on leave, that she approached me in a bar. She told me the whole story, and told me how pissed she was and that I must not have really been all that smart. What a dumbass. Too long didn't he read. A girl called me in the late evening looking for some help with her computer because her parents were out of town. I told her no because I had a test the next day. Edit fixed formatting and time frame. So how had you do on that test? I overslept and did not go to school the next day. Don't. You are joking, right? I wish I were. I was so awkward. I am 100% oblivious to any hint a woman ever makes. A shining example from high school. I am sitting on the bus. My friend is sitting in the seat behind me. A hot chick walks up and asks, "Can I sit here?" And I say sure. She spends the entire bus ride talking to me and seeming really interested in everything I say and asking me all sorts of questions. I am completely confused and have no idea why she is asking me questions, so I answer all her questions, but do not really make any effort to assist the conversation. I was about as interesting to talk to as a brick wall, but goddamn, she just kept trying. Afterwards my friend was like, "Man, that girl was totally trying to hit on you." And I responded, "Oh, is that what that was?" When I was in high school, my next door neighbor was an attractive girl a grade below me. We had lived next to each other for nearly 6 years and nothing had progressed beyond mild flirtation. During my senior year, her friend, who was quite a bit less attractive, had some family issues and moved in with my neighbor's family. Since it was a small apartment complex, there really was no privacy and anything you did got around fast. There was talk amongst my friends that one of them had seen the girls kissing from time to time. One afternoon in the summer while our parents were at work, I was talking to my neighbor and her friend on their front porch. I asked her if it was true that they had been kissing. They both readily admitted it and told me that it had gone well beyond kissing. Then they asked if I wanted to come in and watch them reenact just how far it had gone. I said no because I did not want to see the ugly girl naked. Too long didn't he read I missed out on a threesome as my first sexual experience. Typical teenager being oblivious. Gave a girl a ride home. Want to come in? My parents are at work. Nah, I am gonna go hang out with my buddies. Girl made me a mix CD with gooey love songs. Listened to 2. Threw it away because the music sucks. Girl comes over, changes into a pair of my boxers and lays in bed. Did nothing. Wondered why she is wearing them. They are obviously too big for her. Hung out with girl regularly and she proceeds to walk me out to my car every night we are together. We stand around the car for 20 minutes having what seems to be awkward conversations every time. Did nothing and left. Made friends with an older woman. Constantly told me to call her at any time, night or day, if I want to get together. Never called. Drunk with a girl alone by ourselves. She says she is tired and that we should go to bed. I take her up to bed and then proceed to go downstairs and sleep on the couch. Drunk with friends playing card game. 2 girls go upstairs and motion me to come. Hold on, I need to finish this game. This is 10 times as funny if you pretend all these instances are the same girl. Her, can you take some pics of me while I masturbate? Me, I am not that good at photography. Her, can you give me a back massage? Me, I am not good at it. Sorry. Yes, Reddit. I even apologized. I have done the same thing. Once I told a girl to give me 5 minutes while I watched a video on YouTube to learn. She was not in the mood after. My brain likes to take these memories out and fondle them. I met this cool girl at a friend's party. She sat in my lap and we talked about music. For some reason I cannot recall. I had to leave the party before it was over. She complained about it and tried to convince me that I should stay. Went right over my head. Even worse, a girl I was going to the gym with was engaged and in a long-distance relationship with some dude. That probably did not go so well, because at one point she removed her engagement ring and asked me to come up to her apartment. I brought a mutual friend so we could talk about the gym and stuff. It has been 10 years and this still annoys me. I too once had a cute female on my bed. I got tired of waiting, so I said, "Why are your clothes still on?" To which she replied, "Because you have not taken them off of me yet." I did nothing. I am a little late to the comment party, but I will share. Back during my adolescence and into my young teens, my mother spent most weekends touring around the southern U.S. bowling in tournaments and travel leagues. Her and my father disliked hotels, so they purchased an RV. My parents were not comfortable leaving me at home by myself just yet, and my sister had moved off to college, so I got taken around to all the great and not so great bowling alleys south of Tennessee and east of New Mexico. I got to meet quite a few girls through those travels, and being away from home and out of my small community allowed me to get out of my shell a little bit. I cannot remember the town, but somewhere in central Louisiana I got friendly with this very lovely brunette whose mother was in the same tournament. She was 14, I was 13. I was stoked to even be around a girl that cute, so imagine my elation when she seemed to be happy to be around me as well. We played arcade games together until I ran out of quarters. Then we just hung around the bowling alley for a while chatting. Sensing that we needed somewhere else to be, I said, "Hey, we can go play Nintendo in my parents' RV." "You have got an RV?" she asked. "Yeah, my parents hate hotels." "Come on, out to the RV we go." And we played Super Mario Bros. On the original Nintendo 8-bit console we had in the RV. She sat really close to me, close enough that her left leg was pressed up against my right leg. I felt a little lightheaded and fidgety. Through my peripheral vision I could see her looking at me the whole time and not the screen. It made it really difficult to play Super Mario Bros. After a few levels she says, "I am going to go get a Coke," and I say, "Okay, I will catch up to you in a bit," which was my way of avoiding standing up right then, or going back inside until the visible evidence of my excitement went away. The cute brunette was noticeably more chilly to me the rest of the day. I was very confused. My sister came home to visit the next weekend and I told her about this encounter and how girls are confusing. She laughed at me and said, "You are totally clueless, she wanted you to kiss her." It made it really difficult to play Super Mario Bros. I lost it here. Long-time lurker, first-time poster. I went on a first date with this one girl long ago, back when I did not have much dating experience and also did not realize that it is generally good to have a plan or activity for the night. Instead of immediately doing something fun, we met at a mall, walked around, and jumped in her car to figure out our next move. She put on the song "Put It In My Mouth" link as we sat idling in the parking lot, then slyly asked where I did like her to take me. My idiot response: "Oh, I do not know. Have you ever been to the Texas Roadhouse down the street?" There are many other fails, but I still regularly facepalm over that one. Girl and I were up late cuddling outside at a party. She told me to meet her around 1 later on, that she had a surprise for me. I happily go to sleep and set the alarm for 12:30 the next day, completely oblivious to the fact she meant 1 a.m. that night, as opposed to the next afternoon. Hit like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing to our channel.